Hi, Kitty! It's so amazing to see you.
Oh, Klaudia, this is a big moment. It's our last recording.
I know, Kitty. I mean, on one hand, I am so happy that you are moving on from end happiness to other adventures. On the other hand, I'm gutted. I'm actually gutted.
I know. It's been an interesting process of stepping away from something that we've built together. But I'm so excited to see what you do come out with in the next series. But before we do that, before we talk about the end of it, we've got to do our last ever episode together.
Yay! It is a very significant moment for both of us, and I think it would be amazing if we can reflect a little bit, look back, and maybe think about the most impactful moments of end happiness for you and me. What do you think?
Yeah, I would absolutely love to do that.
So maybe just a reminder to all listeners, we started with the series 1, which was the alphabet of happiness. And me and Kitty will have the experience of 26 different concepts through a dare that we set for each other. And then we talked about it, how it affected our happiness. And then in series 2, Burst of Happiness, we summarized the key learnings from series 1, but this time we have applied it to completely new contexts such as goal setting, personal impact, or environment. So as you can see, lots of learnings, lots of dares, and lots of sharing experiences with each other. So, Kitty, in this oyster of our experiences, the ocean of fabulous adventures that we had together,
That's incredible.
Which learnings, dares, or episodes were the most impactful for you?
Klaudia, I don't think any of our loyal listeners will be in the least bit surprised to know that gratitude was an absolute game changer for me. That week that we did our gratitude dares, where we were sending each other voice notes, daily gratitudes in the morning, was an absolute game changer. And to this day, what are we, a year and a half in since we did gratitudes, I'm still doing gratitudes. My partner and I, Ruth, whenever we're feeling a little nervous or anxious, we'll send each other a little gratitude on WhatsApp, and it is an absolute gift. It changes the way I think. If I'm starting to feel worried about something, I'll just be like, right, you need to step up your gratitudes again and do them daily. And it doesn't have an immediate impact, but the next day I'm just seeing all the positives more quickly and finding the things to feel happy for just more and more instinctively, and that is just incredible.
Yes, I'm not surprised, Kitty, that you are mentioning gratitude. We know that was really the most impactful episode for you. And yeah, I agree. I think gratitude really is the most powerful, happy boosting habit, really, when it comes to really engaging our well-being. I'm going to take you a little bit before the gratitude, if that's okay.
Yeah.
And tell you a little bit more about that. I actually loved also courage. I don't know if you remember, but that episode was quite stressful for us because as part of the dare, we needed to face our fears. And we needed to publish and share our creative writings. And that was absolutely nerve-wracking. But what it really taught me was that our fears can take different forms. And these are known as fear routines. And I don't know if you remember, but we spoke about 4 fear routines. We spoke about perfectionism, being a sabotage to ourselves, being a people pleaser, or potentially being a pessimist. And I just remember that I very clearly then saw that my biggest fear and my biggest kind of fear routine is that perfectionism. That if if I'm scared of something, I'm trying to make things perfect. And for me, the biggest learning curve was that it's good enough is amazing, and progress over perfection is amazing. And that just really stuck with me.
Yeah, that was a really great week. God, I remember those days. It was so fun. But that was a really great week. We were really putting ourselves out there. And all of these lessons trickle into the way that I do things now. So in thinking this week about what I've learnt from this experience with you and creating these episodes, it has given me so many tools to manage and embrace different challenges in life. So on that point of courage and what holds you back, a few episodes ago I said, well, I've just said yes to doing a half Ironman.
Whoa!
And last week, Klaudia, I did the half Ironman.
Yay!
That's a 70.3 mile race, swim, cycle, run. And at the point of me saying yes, I actually couldn't really swim. I tried, and I got some coaching, and I went into a tri club, and all of the time when this race was on the horizon, I was thinking back on what we've learned all of these episodes, and that point of saying yes to something, the courage. The other thing that really I pulled in on was our episode on resilience, and how even every single step I took within this experience of putting myself into this race, which was actually terrifying, standing at the front of this bay about to swim 1.2 miles when 2 months ago I couldn't do front crawl, like breathe with my head underwater. I thought, you'll have built some resilience, you'll have built some strength, you'll have built something into your character and your ability to do this next time. So even if you don't make it, you'll have built something in you, because I was terrified. The whole thing was so overwhelming. It was so stressful, so nerve-wracking, and filled me with like anxiety. And if I'd really let it go, I could have had quite a significant breakdown of stress and just fallen on the floor into a puddle in tears, because I thought I might die in this bay. But by being courageous and just trying and getting over myself and my own kind of fear of my own limits, I was able to do it. And I actually did the whole swim, did the race, did the cycle, and it was the most incredible experience of my life.
Wow, Kitty, exactly. Wow, exactly. Being courageous really means facing your fears. And I am so proud. I cannot even imagine cycling 90 kilometers. I mean, when I try to imagine that, my body already hurts. So that's when I'm going to stop imagining it. But well done to you.
The announcer as well, when you're standing on the edge of that bay with however many thousand people, you really see that everybody has got these nerves. And the announcer, who was just doing this big hype machine, he was saying so many words that have been mentioned in the last 2 series of our podcast about gratitude, about bravery, about sort of facing these fears and being kind of pushing yourself to like, it's not even like a push yourself to be the best. It's like, this is your own race, and in trying to sort of forget about anything other than what you're doing, and you're doing it for yourself. There were so many words that had been mentioned in our podcast that just came through, and it was just such an incredible thing.
Oh, wow. Amazing, Kitty. So we have gratitude when it comes to really looking at the positives. We have the courage in terms of facing our fears. We have resilience and really exercising that muscle so you can transfer that to any other challenge in life. What else was really impactful for you as part of And Happiness journey?
So another one that's really stuck with me was empathy, and for 2 reasons. One, because now in challenging situations, I do think about what's maybe going on for the other person, and it does mellow some of my negative feelings often. But the other reason is that episode seemed to be one of the most talked about to me. When people would say which episodes they liked, they really seemed to like empathy. And that always made my, if I can be honest, made my skin crawl a bit, because I put myself, the story I told in that episode, I was a bit ashamed of my behaviour in it. And I felt like, oh God, cringe. I've put this episode out and I'm telling everybody what an arsehole I am. But I think that people really connected with it because it was like they empathised with my position. And it made me realise not only the kind of power of empathy in that connecting with people and like human connection, but also it made me realise how putting out your kind of vulnerabilities and honesties connects with people quite deeply as well. So that episode made me feel more comfortable with being kind of honest and open about how I feel. And I think that really wraps in amongst a lot of things around empathy and how being vulnerable and thinking about how where people are coming from and trying to connect with each other in that kind of emotion and human way.
Yes, I agree, Kitty. You were so authentic in that episode and you really shared something that, as you said, was really difficult for you and you were quite ashamed of your behavior in that moment. But actually, we all have moments like that. We are all humans. And I think that was amazing that so many of our listeners connected with that episode. And also, it was so impactful for you. For me, when it comes to human connection, one of the most impactful episodes was kindness. Because we've been told, yes, be kind to other people. But actually, I felt that when we had that week of engaging in random acts of kindness, I really felt that kindness is the new cool and it is the new superpower that we can engage in. I still remember that one of my random acts of kindness was that I was standing on the street and was pouring rain. I had the umbrella and the person next to me did not. And I shared my umbrella with them to walk them to the next bus stop. And I still remember the happiness and gratefulness on their face. And I thought, wow, you know what? Actually, the easiest way, yet the most powerful one to change the world is through that kindness. So it really should be the new cool. It is really a big superpower. And I was even more excited when for the episode, I started looking into science and science was saying exactly the same, was really confirming that feeling, saying, yes, when you share a random act of kindness with other people, you are impacting people up to 7 degrees of separation, which is amazing. So that was for me the most impactful one on human connection, that random acts of kindness.
Yeah, and so easy to do, you know. None of these things cost anything, you know. It's a thought, a consideration, and the more you do it, the easier it is for those thoughts and behaviours to come to you.
Yes, absolutely. But we just maybe sometimes forget. We are in the heat of the moment and actually so powerful. Similarly with the gratitude, right? It's just saying 1 or 2 things that you're grateful for every single day. But like, how often do we do it? We forget.
Yeah.
Kitty, whilst you were pushing it on the bike for 90 kilometers and trying not to die in that bay, I actually was reflecting that one of my favorite episodes comes from series 2, Bursts of Happiness, and is on rest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because before that episode, I don't really think I actually ever understood what rest is about. I always thought that the rest equals sleep and that I'm very bad at resting because I'm a very active person. And actually only within that episode and really thinking about our restful activities, I understood that rest is much more easier to incorporate into our lives if we think about it in the terms of those 7 different types of rest. So physical, mental, sensory, creative, emotional, social, and spiritual. That for me changed completely my perspective of how I approach rest nowadays. And I do feel much more rested and happier as a result of that. So that's for me amazing. And maybe that Ironman was a physical rest for you. Not sure, but
well, I wouldn't call it that, but it was a change. It was a change. And the thing is, after we did the race, I did rest. We had a villa because it was in Portugal, and we stayed for a few days after, and oh my goodness, it was absolute bliss. We really did rest. And I came back feeling so excited to get back to work and talking to colleagues on Zoom, like, guys, you've got to book a holiday. It feels amazing to get just a change. You know, sure, we really exerted our bodies in that race. We didn't just have a big old sleep, but it really regenerated my kind of outlook.
Any final ones, Kitty? Sorry, time is passing. Oh my God.
Funnily enough, and I was sort of surprised at this because it's not one that I've talked to people about that much, but I actually really loved luck. And it was because of some of the ways, sometimes, Klaudia, you know, you put things across and it's like, oh, you know, a penny drop moment where I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And it was the example of, if you got shot in the arm in a bank, would you think you were lucky or unlucky? And it's lucky that you didn't die, or you feel unlucky because you got shot. And it's a perception of one single moment and one same situation. And someone can look at it one way and someone can look at exactly the same situation a completely different way. And I have taken that on more than I thought I had, because every situation can be seen differently or more positively, and obviously it all comes down to kind of your outlook, and I still think that gratitudes help you see that positive light. But going through life a lucky person is the same life as an unlucky person with a different set of eyes. And I just thought that was really inspirational for kind of the normality of life, of like, or just like, nobody's so special that they're actually lucky. Life is just happening that way, and it just feels quite like sometimes it can be magical just because of your own outlook.
Yes, that choice of perspective. Oh yes, that was really powerful episode. That's true. That's really was like shaking our mindset a little bit, and really, you know, those moments when you try to process something in your brain and your brain hurts a little bit from that. it was like that. But you're right, whether we feel we're lucky or we are unlucky, it's our choice, and that's what research showed us. So yes, I agree. That was amazing episode. So we have so many learnings.
I know, that's it. It's hard to just choose a few, isn't it? The whole experience has been incredible for understanding what makes me happy. And it was very difficult to choose just a few.
Absolutely. But we know that your favorite, gratitude.
Yep.
Empathy.
Resilience.
And luck. So we have 4 favorites from Kitty. My favorites: courage, kindness, and rest. Okay, so absolutely amazing selection of different tools and mindsets to explore. Of course, go back to series 1 or series 2 to re-listen to those, so you have more information around each of those topics. Kitty, any final thoughts you would like to share? Those are your last words that will go in history.
Oh my God.
So no pressure.
Jeez. Well, I mean, mostly I just want to say, Klaudia, what an incredible experience this has been. I love what we've built together. I can't believe it. 1.5 years ago in our cupboards recording, just out off a whim. I've always wanted to record a podcast, and it's been an absolute honour to do it with you. You've taught me so much. I've enjoyed every episode. We're actually doing it at 11 o'clock, which was our classic time on a Sunday to record. So we've come full circle, and I'm so excited to listen to series 3 when you release it, and it's going to be brilliant, and I cannot wait to listen. Like everybody else, I'll be on my runs, planning my full Ironman, listening to your incredible wisdom and learning and keeping learning and how to be happy.
Oh, Kitty, you're making me teary. No, massive thank you to you as well. I mean, you'll be definitely missed. You brought so much energy and humor to this show. I love the fact that you never took for granted any science I shared with you. You always questioned it with curiosity, always trying new things out and be like, yeah, no, but wait a second, how this exactly works? I love that. I really love that. And I learned so much from you, and you're my best friend ever. So thank you so much. And I see you as a listener or in real life as my friend very soon.
Well, Klaudia, I can't wait to come to your TED Talk. I can't wait to see you when you take on this Prime Minister job as Chief Happiness Operator for the country. And I think it's going to be incredible.
Thank you, Kitty. Bye.
Oh, bye, Klaudia. Bye.
Massive thank you to Kitty again. She definitely will be missed. Okay, so what's next, I hear you say, my dear listeners? Well, I have some great things planned out for And Happiness. So first of all, you'll be delighted to know that Series 3 of And Happiness will be launching in January 2022, as Kitty already mentioned. I'm speaking with very interesting people from all walks of life. Artists, scientists, sports professionals, entrepreneurs, to really help me find out the answer to this very bold question: what makes us happy? In Series 3, we'll be again traveling through the alphabet, and in each episode will be packed with practical dares, authentic stories, and psychological evidence. I really do hope that you will tune in then. And if you have a topic that you would like me to explore, I would love to hear from you. Just drop me an email on hello@andhappiness.co.uk with your suggestions. I really would love to hear from you. And secondly, and this is a very big news that I'm also quite nervous about, is that on the basis of And Happiness podcast, I'm putting a book together. I know, I mean, so exciting and so scary. The Alphabet of Happiness will be published in autumn 2022. If you want to check out what is the book all about, you can find out more by visiting andhappiness.co.uk/book. Thank you again for listening, everyone. I wish you a fantastic end of the year and look forward to seeing you again in the new year. And as always, I dare you to be happy. Bye.